Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's segment. It gives me great pleasure to introduce one of the Lower North Shore's top agents with McGraths Real Estate, Mr. Nigel Muki. Hello, Nigel.
Good, thanks Rob. How you going?
Good mate, good to see you.
You too.
Oh, congratulations by the way. I noticed on Facebook you had an apartment sale in Milsons Point, 3.3 million, which I believe was the most expensive apartment sold in Sydney last week.
All right, there you go. Well, that's news to me. But yeah, it was a good result. The last one in the building downstairs sold, I think, about a year ago, and that one was 100,000 less. So the owners are pretty happy with that.
Well done, job well done.
Thanks.
So today, Nigel's going to give us our 3 top tips to buyers that are approaching his auctions and what his advice would be for them to register their interest. So what's first, Nigel?
Yeah, look, I think the biggest thing is not all properties do end up going to auction, and not all properties mention the words auction if not sold prior. So I think registering your interest with the agent prior to the auction, or certainly if you are interested, asking for a contract. Usually we'll find that the agents, or most agents, will keep those with contracts definitely up to date of any offers and what's happening. And yeah, so that would be the first tip, is make sure you register your interest with the agent so that you can be kept informed of any offers and progress as well.
Yeah, that's true, because I've noticed certainly with some clients in the past, they've contacted me a week or two later, said they've seen the home that they've liked, and I said, have you taken the contract? They said they haven't, and sometimes by the time I've actually called, yourself or someone else, the property's been sold or it's under offer.
Yeah, 100%, and I do hear that as well out there from buyers saying, oh look, I thought it was going to auction and we really like this one but we missed out, and unfortunately once you miss out, you miss out. So
yeah, that's right. And your second tip for the buyers?
Yeah, second tip would be prepared. So prior to the auction, as well as soon as possible, having a contract checked by your solicitor, building inspections, strata inspections, making sure your finance is in place as well. So again, if you have an offer coming in, or an agent has an offer coming in, and you want to be part of that process to try and buy the property before auction, if it may be, that you're ready to go so you don't miss out.
That's a very good point actually, because yeah, some of the clients that I've had in the past that have been interested, we've gone to go put an offer. Our offer's sometimes a little bit higher, but the agent and the owners certainly have gone with the lower offer because that buyer's done the building impairs, their finance is approved, and they're ready to exchange with the Section 66, which waives their cooling off period.
Yeah,
it does carry a lot more weight, doesn't it?
It does, and the other thing I would say with that as well is when it is looking at offers prior, and most people are happy to take the bird in the hand, in this market, especially if it's a strong offer. If you are part of that process, put your best foot forward. You don't want to, I guess, have any regrets that, I would have probably paid an extra 5 or 10,000.
Yeah, good point. Good point. And your third tip today, Nigel?
Yeah, the third tip would be about auction day. So again, just making sure that you've got everything organised for auction day. So having your your ID, so you can register to bid's a big one. I've had a couple of auctions where we've had to put things on hold so the buyer could run home and get their ID. That's the law, and we can't register anyone without the photo ID or the passport as well. Making sure you get the deposit to pay it if you're successful.
Big point.
Personal check's fine, obviously, but if you need to get a bank check, and even if it's a little bit less or above, you can always adjust things or put a clause in the contract or top it up later as well. And any contract changes. So quite often your solicitor or conveyancer will want some changes to the contract, and if they have been approved, making sure that you've got that in writing from the seller's solicitor or conveyancer approving those changes, so if you are successful on the day that we can make those changes. The other thing for auction day, obviously it is quite nerve-wracking for a lot of buyers. I would recommend that if that is you and you are a little bit nervous, probably to instruct someone to bid on your behalf. Buyer's agents are ideal for the sake of a few $100s. Or Rob, I'm sure he does it and does it well. I've seen him at a couple of auctions. Buyer's agents, for the sake of a few $100s, can end up saving you thousands with the tactics that they know. I've bid for clients before, and we're generally successful when we're bidding on behalf of a client. Could end up saving you thousands off the purchase price, but also keeping you to your budget as well.
Yes, and just help taking away all that emotion that people can feel at an auction, because it is quite stressful.
Yeah.
Well, Nigel, that's fantastic tips. Really appreciate your time. If somebody wants to contact you, what's the best way? By Facebook or?
Yeah, Facebook. Mobile's always the best. You can pretty much get me 24/7, which is 0412 69 6666.
Great, thanks a lot.